Signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Mazzaroth Decoded number 9. Welcome back, family. Let's jump in. Here we are in the heavens, looking at Stellarium. Our first sign. We're looking at today, February the 24th. I have this on Meridian. We're looking at the alignment of asteroid 4710 Wade aligning with the planet Venus. And again, Venus is still an evening star, and that is a representation of the bride. And we're looking at 4710 Wade making an alignment today at 2:26 Pacific time. I wanted to point out something that I found when I was doing my Strong's numbers. The asteroids, I don't do this all the time, but I'm going to start putting these in the descriptions. If I don't post it, I'll at least put it in the descriptions. But this one was really, really powerful. We're looking at Strong's 4710. This is Motzbaum, and this means hidden treasure or storehouse. And it also has a meaning of a secret, derived from the root Safon, meaning to hide or to treasure up. The term Motzbaum refers to something that is hidden or stored away, often implying a sense of value or treasure. It is used in the context of something that is kept secret or reserved for a specific purpose or time. So we're looking at Wade, asteroid Wade in the tail. Let's go ahead and look at the constellation, and you can see that these two are aligned in the tail of Pisces. This is our first sign for the day, and as you can see, this asteroid has some really amazing numerical numbers attached to it. So let's go ahead and dig into the codes and see what the codes have to say. Give this a second, fam. As you know, my computer's really jacked up. It's just it's got issues. That's going to be resolved possibly tomorrow. I'll come back with a praise report tomorrow and tell you about what's happening with the computer. So here we have the asteroid codes. For asteroid Wade, it equals trouble for Jacob, planned virus, vaccine mark of the beast, judgment day, decode book of Revelation, break the chains, Middle East war, atomic weapon, red tsunami, Saturn destroyed, the end of time, Sagittarius, salvation is coming, wedding angels, coronation, white robes, house O Virgo, Palisades fire, babies, lives matter. Okay, fam. Thought that last one was really epic. Um, we're looking at this alignment happening in the house of the fish. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, then you know how important that is. If you remember back to the beginning of the Escape of the Bride series, for those of you who are new, I would suggest going back and starting with Escape of the Bride 1. This series, Escape of the Bride, is very, very important for being able to decode the entire story of the bride in the heavens. It began in 2016 in the house of Pisces on 3/16/3/17, which is the equilux. And the beginning of these signs in the house of Pisces in 2016 was then duplicated in 2023, 7 years later. And it wasn't the exact same alignment, but it was again a sign in the house of the fish happening on the equilux on 3/16 and 3/17. The sign developed in the house of Pisces. And for those of you who aren't followers of Repo Man, I would suggest going and also watching Repo Man's breakdowns, as he has been tracking the equilux for multiple years. And again, I got my sign of the Escape of the Bride in the house of Pisces in 2016, and then also again in 2023. And we are about to see the exact same message in the house of Pisces coming up in March. And so it's very important for us to understand that we're watching a heavenly code develop and unfold. And this asteroid is pointing us to the bride in the house of Pisces. And we're now going to move to Alona. This is our next asteroid. And let's go ahead and get this one on alignment. This is Alona entering into the Temple of Sacrifice, which is the larger temple in Capricorn. So we have Alona is entering into the chamber of sacrifice, which is this larger triangle. This is the area of death and sacrifice. And Alona is entering into the constellation Temple, and that is when they make the alignment within or through, which Alona is going to be traversing through. So let's go ahead and watch that. And we can see Alona will exit. And get it, that's close enough. So we're here looking at the exit on the 28th, and she enters on the 24th, and this is asteroid Alona. And if you can see here, this is a very special alignment on the 25th. Now we have the moon, and we can see here that Alona is in the Temple of Sacrifice, and now on the 25th we have the moon entering into the temple. And what makes it even more powerful is we have another asteroid that is also entering on the 24th. Let's go watch that really quick. We have multiple asteroids that are giving us this sign of the Temple of Sacrifice. And we're looking at Mayavu is now entering into the Temple of Sacrifice. So we have two asteroids entering on the exact same day. We have asteroid Alona and this Mayavu. And this, let's go look at the codes for these two asteroids. So here we are, we've got asteroid Alona. Asteroid Alona equals true king, star sun, solar eclipse, occupy Mars, alley of angels, it's game over, Taco Tuesday, Archangel Uriel, what is an angel, the tree of life, voice of God, escape matrix, the Lord's name, the perfect man, Father chariot, Christ is code, God, Son, sacrificed, cross, Inri, a divine secret, two moons, and let's look at Maya view. Mary Magdalene, get ready to fiesta. The appointed time, rise like a phoenix. Enoch chapter 48, great conjunction, April 20th. If you don't know, April 20th is the Mazzaroth New Year on the Exodus count. And that's very important because that's how I make all of my determinations, is based on the sun and the moon and the stars. So we have a very, very specific count that's based on eliminating all other calendars, and we're looking at the alignment of the sun and the moon and the stars. And April 20th is that day on the Mazzaroth count, and that's the Exodus count. And then we have October the 20th is the New Year on the ancient Enochian Mazzaroth count. And so those days do not shift until we have our next 19-year Metonic cycle, and I will be watching over the next couple years to see if there's any shifts. But in my opinion, this is going to be set for years. So April 20th and October 20th are our standardized points within the Mazzaroth for the New Year counts. And the next code is Jesus in the flesh. I am Mary Magdalene 2 times. Mary is the queen, the wedding planner, the Last Supper, drain the swamp, a virus shot, geomagnetic reversals, and the root of Jesse. Okay, fam, let's get back to what we're looking at in the heavens. We have two asteroids. We have Alona, which it's doing its typical thing. It's really weird. I can't wait to get a new computer, and then I will be able to just load Stellarium, and we'll be able to do this correctly. But we have the moon, and Mayanvu and Alona are all in the temple together tomorrow. And this is a very, very important sign. As you know, Capricorn is a double sign. The front temple is the temple of sacrifice. The rear temple is the temple of resurrection. And if you look here, we can see that the moon enters here. Forgive me, fam, I can't do anything about the phone. I brought it into the room, and it's going to ring, and I'm not getting up to turn it, so I'm really sorry. You're going to hear some rings. Good, it's done. So we're looking at the transition of the moon at the very beginning of the 26th. We can see the time here. We're looking at the transition of the moon into the temple of resurrection. And that's an important sign as we transition into the month of March. We're getting all of these signs with the asteroids and with the moon, and we can also, if you watch my last video, I was talking about the sun and Ceres, and we're still seeing the bridegroom and the goddess of marriage, which can be seen as the judge of the marriage. And if we transition to the end of the 27th, then we can see how the moon aligns here with the sun. We can see that transition happening here. So we can watch. And this here, with the moon aligning with Aquarius, directly between the sun and the goddess of marriage, is a very important sign to us, fam. This is on the 27th, in the middle of the day, Pacific Standard Time, 12:23, and we're looking at the moon on meridian. And I believe it's lined up. Yep, it's right on the main body of Aquarius. This is the Archangel Gabriel, the messenger, and it's also the bride of Christ. And we see the sun, which is the bridegroom. And again, we see Ceres, and the moon is directly in between. And so we're seeing a very, very important sign in the heavens happening on the 27th. This is happening the day before all of the planets align, which will happen on the 28th. And these are all really, really important signs for us to keep our eyes on. The next sign we're going to go to is Mercury. And again, Mercury is the Archangel Raphael. And we're going to be watching Mercury. Let's pull it back. I think it's here. Let's watch this alignment. It happens in the middle of the day. Here we go. And we're looking at the alignment on the 25th of Mercury and Saturn. So we have the alignment with Raphael and Cassiel. And again, we can see this as a message. It is happening, I believe, that it's right on the border. Forgive me, fam, I hit a lock up here. So we can see here, we're in the house of Aquarius, right on the border of the transition into Pisces. We have the alignment of Mercury and Saturn. And again, we have Raphael as Mercury and Cassiel as Saturn. These are the ruling angels of these planets. And again, we can't look at individual planets as evil or good, because these are all of the angelic host. And we'll get into that with the story of Saturn and Saturnalia and the Black Cube. That's going to be a whole individual breakdown that we'll be doing when we get to the Archangel Cassiel. And that will come soon. But for right now, we're looking at is the ancient depiction. We're looking at these angels who rule these houses, and they're both in the house of Aquarius at the same time that we're looking at the Sun and Ceres. Again, this alignment is happening right before we have the moon transition in. And this is a very important sign for us to pay attention to the house of Aquarius. So now we're going to go to our final sign, and this is the alignment here of Iris with the band of Pisces, and we're going to watch that here. Let's go ahead and get it up when it lands right on the band. We'll just go ahead and take it to here, and that's close enough. And what we're looking at here is asteroid Iris aligning with the band of Pisces, and we know that Venus and all of these other planets, Mercury, and we can see that, let's go ahead and look here really quick. I believe Mercury makes its transition into, yeah. Okay, so we're looking at Mercury making its transition into the house of Pisces. So we have Iris that makes its alignment, and then we can go over here and we can see how now Mercury has transitioned into the house of Pisces. And that's really important because we have that planetary alignment coming up on the 28th, and the majority of the planets are going to be in the house of Pisces. We have Mercury and Venus, which are our bridal signs, with Neptune. So we have 3 planets in the house of Pisces, and Saturn and the Sun will be in Aquarius. And on the 28th, during the, you can see here, this is a very, very important. Let's get this up. And then let's go over here. And we're going to do this. I'm only doing it this way so that I don't have to go through an extra step. So you can see here, fam, we're looking at the moon making its direct entrance into the house of Pisces. And you can see this alignment here of Mercury and the moon and Saturn. And this is a really important alignment also. You can see this aligned up in the heaven. It's Mercury and the moon and Saturn on the 28th, and we're looking at 1737, and the moon is just entering into the house of Pisces. So on the evening of the 28th, when we all see that planetary alignment, there is the moon and Mercury and Neptune and Venus all in the house of the fish. And again, that's really important for our signs. We're looking at the bride signs, and we have all kinds of asteroids that are in the house of Pisces, and it's all being set up for the coming March signs when the sun enters the house of Pisces. And so I wanted to bring this out before we get to Michael Stands Up number 5.1. The next video will be Michael Stands Up 5.1. We're going to finish the rise of the Antichrist. Thanks for coming, family. We'll see you soon. Much love.